folks. How are you doing, thrill seekers? I usually open my videos with audio, with the speaking, and then do the music later. But I thought I would do things a little bit differently this time. Yes, that was probably TMI, and it is 12/24/2025, almost Christmas Day, 2025, and I am working on another track. Yes, documenting it with video, partly so that if any of this becomes popular, as I release it to the world on Spotify and Pandora and Apple Music, etc. Not etc., but it's etc. And I release it out. If I'm ever called to prove that I've put in some human touch, then these videos hopefully will help my case. Hopefully, I will never need them, or I might just release them just for document, as far as a documentary. And it might cool off some of those people who are very upset, as I understand, of AI doing such an amazing job at unfortunately replacing real people. There's a loud car at 10:45 p.m. I hate that. I might close the window. But it's a warm night in Dallas, Texas. I'm near Dallas, Texas, and we're actually having unusual for this part of the country. Not so much for, let's say, Los Angeles or something, but for yeah, for North Texas, it can be in the 20s or 30s at this time of night. My window wouldn't be open, but we're actually having amazing weather. Let's take a look. Sorry, I had to go off and run a couple digital errands, and I forgot exactly where we were, but I shut off my email, so you won't be getting any of those. And let's go back to Caribbean Moon. I've heard it Caribbean, I've heard it Caribbean, and it's funny with this output. I think you might have heard it. It pronounced it both ways. You know what? I'm going to live with it. However it pronounces it, I'm going to live with it. That was my goal. I could have probably, I could. What you can do is you can phonetically spell something, and it, like, if I wanted it to say Caribbean, I would write out something like Care B Yun Yun Un Caribbean B Bean Caribbean Caribbean. If I wanted it like Caribbean, ca C-U ca rib e and Caribbean 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 Caribbean. I don't know whether the AI would put an emphasis on a word if you did this. Caribbean. But it might work. Yeah. Now in the future, it's fascinating that I'm making these videos at the birth of all of this. Like, this is the beginning. Like, now there are glitches that occur, sometimes rhythm glitches, that I think will be picked up by the AI before I would ever have a chance to hear them. Like, they output, what you do is you put in, what I'm doing is uploading music, my original music, which is just new age, very different, but it's, at least I'm giving it some sort of a foundation. Giving it like a foundation of notes. It's very cryptic, obviously, very different. But I am putting, what I'm doing is there's settings here, and audio influences. Turn it up to resemble your original audio or persona. By the way, I have, let me turn off Discord. Hold on a second. Oh yeah, it's over here. Alrighty. So yeah, you put in your original music. Now I've been putting in for songs with lyrics. I write the lyrics out and then I finish them and I paste them. Now this is kind of fun. I the original line here. I don't usually change lines this drastically, but in this song, I said it's like you've certainly made me your biggest fan. Soaking in the warm sand, and now from my hand you reach. You've certainly made me your biggest fan. To rhyme with sand, sort of, a soft rhyme, as they say. Now, I here it was going to say. Trying to remember the original lyrics now. It was like it was basically how we met on the 3rd of June. Like I can't believe we met back on the 3rd of June. And that's how I rhymed with moon. And I was listening to it back and it just came to me. You came to my rescue and not a moment too soon. It sort of came like that's so much better. It's not great lyrics, but with the AI, you can have fair to good lyrics and they sound fantastic. And fantastic lyrics would sound even better, but I'm not Bernie Taupin. Anyway, great lyricist. Okay, so let's go back to play. So yeah, you heard. It did a great job. I really liked. I hope I downloaded it. Did I? Oh, I don't think I did yet. Yeah, I thought it was the first one. Oh, did I do it here? No, I guess I didn't download it yet. I really liked. Uh-oh, which output? I guess it was this output. And by the way, the reason it says across the plains is that was the original. That's what I uploaded. Yeah, originally. That was the original tune that I have underlying. Because I want to have some say in what the AI is doing, even though it's such different music. It's probably just using the same key or something. Anyway, yeah, similar.
We relaxing here,
Oh
the
yeah.
sparkling beach, soaking in the warm sand. And for my hand, you now reach. You have certainly made me.
Okay, so you get the idea, and you heard it at the beginning there when I was opening up. Now, what I'm going to do here, I like that, and what it does is, by the way, it comes out with two outputs every time you ask it to make a song. It does two of them. I haven't even heard this one yet, but I like this so much. And I have so many credits now that I upgraded from Pro to Premiere. I had Pro, which gave me 2,500 credits a month, and you create a song with 10 credits, and it gives you two of them. And sometimes they're different enough where I can create two different songs on my album. And this album, which is my ninth album of this artist. By the way, the name of the artist is the Midnight Regatta Project, TMRP. So. Uh, so you see, what I do is I have these are all instrumentals, except for So Simple. That one's done. I try to make two. What I've been doing is two songs with lyrics per album. Again, trying to contribute to the AI to add a human element to give a certain percentage per album anyway. Anyway, so this one, yeah, I need to download. So I really like that one. So that I'm, if I say so myself, I'm smart to download all these because according to AI news reports, like there's videos that where people go over, AI and the world of AI and AI, mostly like image creation and music creation tools. I have a friend musical mentor who does not use AI, but he is not against it for people who benefit and for people who are doing good work to help uplift the world and so on with their music, which I am, which I hope to be. And you could say this is sort of the opposite of rap. Anyway, Caribbean Moon for 346. This one is Contender. All caps Contender. That makes a note to myself. Now I've downloaded it. So now I have it on my hard drive. And what these AI people are saying is that there's always the possibility that Suno could go belly up any moment. It's not likely, but it's not impossible. And the moment either Suno goes belly up or there's an injunction, a legal slap, handcuff, whatever, on the company, they'd have to stop all downloads, and it can happen. Boom, done, no more. And all of a sudden, any music you have up there, you can't access. Or I think there's one company that happened with called Udio. If you're into AI and all that, you probably know of that. I need to find out how many minutes we have left. I only have 30-minute. There we go. I have a 30-minute limit. So I'm doing these in sections, parts, usually between 2 and 4 parts. These going over and documenting these creation of these songs, the creation of these songs. So, yeah, but these tools these days, it's the wild, wild west, and they're still legislating for all this. For now, they signed a deal with Warner Music, which is one of the biggest, and Suno and Warner have gotten into bed together, and they've made an agreement. That helps. That makes it less likely that anything's going to happen. But I guess with the Udio, at least from what I heard, I didn't actually check this out to be definite about it, but somebody had said that they had stopped downloads where you could just play the music on their site, but you could no longer download the files. And people were very upset because they had purchased plans like I purchased. Like I paid $170 something for the year. What happened is, started out where I could have, for the pro plan, there is a free plan, and you can download the music in even the free plan, but you can't use it. And I think after January 1st, you will no longer, if you have a free plan with Suno, you will no longer be able to download the music. It'll be like, I guess Udio might be now, but you could, technically you could do what I'm doing here, for instance, which is record off of your computer's audio and just play the audio back. Like, even if I never downloaded this, I could take this song,
your biggest fan.
and the quality's pretty damn good. It may not be as good as downloading a file, but probably pretty close. And as long as there's not other sounds on your computer conflicting with it, competing with it, you could go start the song, start like I'm recording this, record the whole thing, and then download that file, or you'd have that file, or download it from, I'm using Vimeo. Yeah, Vimeo. Where does it say Vimeo? I don't see where it says it here, but that's the V for Vimeo. Anyway, so the thing is, you could, but what if this were to go away? What if you've probably been to websites that you visited before, and you mean to go to a website and it's just gone. 404 error. That site not found. Please reload. The Microsoft or whatever, or the Chrome response for a site that's not there anymore. Not fun. And I know that I gambled the 170 something bucks to hope this thing lasts a year. Yeah, what happened was I had a free plan to start the first day, and it was like I found a video on YouTube that explained about Suno. I said, I wonder if I could take some of my old music, my old stuff, and like have it replay with better instruments. And I tried it, and it was like, oh my gosh. And I actually came up with like a song I was going to release, and then I realized, then I found out the fine print is you have to have a pro plan, a paid plan, a current paid plan. to have the rights to resell any of the music. Otherwise, it's owned by Suno. So in my case, I right away I paid. You could do a. I could have gone a yearly for $80 or $10 a month. And I said, well, I don't know if this is going to work for me. $10 is $10, $10 and plus tax or whatever. It was like under $11, and I did that, and I got the 2,500 credits, which meant I could do 25 up to 25, or was it 250 songs really? Yeah, and I did a lot with that. I actually ran out in a month, within a month, and I had to pay another $8 for another 1,000 credits or whatever. But I only had to do that. I think I did that a couple different months. That's amazing. I did a lot of output. Well, part of the reason is a lot of it doesn't work, and you have to keep redoing it, just like when you're doing image creation with AI. Speaking of which, did a pretty good job with the saxophone on the beach with this moon. It does that. It does it automatically. I'm not asking it to create these images, and I haven't used any of these images, but some of them are pretty good. Anyway, so I did the plan, the pro plan, and I had that for a couple months. It's amazing how time has flown. It seems like yesterday I downloaded the software, or I went to I registered for an account. What's interesting is I came up with a song that I wanted to release, and I reached out to Suno and I said I had a free plan, but I've now paid for it. And according to their fine print, if you, excuse me, I burped. If you output a song in the free plan and then you pay for the plan, anything you made with the free software is not yours. It's Suno's, I guess, technically. But I mean, that's the way that's the way their fine print is. And I reached out to support, and I told them, I said I came up with such and such a song. I think I linked them to it, and I said I really want to release it. I'm going to release it, and I said, can I do that? And they said, let me check. And I said, are you? And I said, I have a pro plan now. I went ahead and bought. And what I did, smart thing, I didn't wait. The same day, which I didn't think would make any difference, the same day I downloaded the free plan and started creating music, I then bought the pro plan and paid for it for the month. And they checked. Here's what they came back with. This is wild. They said, well, we show that you created that song on whatever the date was in August or whatever. It's amazing it's been so long. August or September, I guess. That's crazy. Might have even been like late August. It's so strange how time has flown. Here we are on Christmas Eve, and in less than an hour it'll be Christmas Day. So 2025. So they said, but you paid for the plan on the same day, so you own it. And I guess that's a loophole. So technically, time-wise, I created the music that I wanted to release the day I paid for the plan, but not the hour, not the minute, not the second. But they said it's the same date, so you're fine. And they didn't even say, well, we can let this one slide or anything like that. They said, no, it's yours. And I have that email, so I should print it out. So anyway, yeah, that's pretty cool. So then I had the pro plan, and then they have something called Studio. Here, I'll show you. Remix, edit, open in Studio, and you have to do that. I'm going to do this to show you on the video here. Yeah, I'll just put that up here. Studio is interesting. It actually gives you multi-tracking ability, and you can split it into all the stems, which you can do otherwise, even with the Pro plan. But you don't have this in the Pro plan. This is the Premier plan. And they had a Black Friday sale. And if you bought the year, instead of like $8 a month, if you get the Pro plan by the year, which I was doing it by the month, so I was paying $10 a month. With the 40% discount, it was only $14 a month if you buy a year in advance. And I went ahead and did that. And then forgot, or realized you could, rather than 2,500 credits a month, now I'm getting 10,000 a month, and I've not even used 2,000, which is I have 8,000 more, and the month is up today, but I don't think, unfortunately, I don't think this is cumulative. So what'll happen within 24 hours, I guess. I think today is the day. Or maybe it's the 26th. Today's the 25th almost. So in a couple of days, this will go from 8,000, whatever, or 7,000 something, because I'm going to use some of it, to 10,000. I don't. It won't. Unfortunately, it doesn't give you cumulative. It just tops you up at 10,000, which is fine. I don't think I'm going to. I'm not creating a quote AI slop, as they call it. It's like just churning it out. I'm actually crafting these and editing and taking time. So I'm doing it fast, but still. Anyway, so you see this. If I wanted to now, I could take this. Like I can click here and then have data. And I can extract stems if I wanted to. But I'm going to do that anyway. I'm going to just extract. And I put them in this software, which is much bigger and easier to work with. But I have it now. Let's see how it ends. I'll figure that out later, whether I want to use that or not. What I've usually been doing. Now, part of the reason I'm bringing it into stems is because, as you notice, the instrumentation drowns out the vocals. I want to be able to more clearly hear the vocals, partly because I'm hard of hearing, but also I think other people do too, and I think Suno sort of over mixes it a little. Sometimes, not always. So good. So what I usually do is I do a fade. If it's if it's over 3 minutes, 3 minutes is the sweet spot for music generally, for hit songs, whatever. 3 minutes or a little over. This kind of music can probably go on a little longer, but there's enough extra here that I can do a fade out, and it'll probably be something like this. Anyway, you get the idea. But this is just the original file. I'm not going to use this. I'm not going to release this. That's just, I like to download just to have the original. Also, that'll prove that I've done work on it. Let's go back to it. What is it? Hold on a second. I'm going to go back to where I was. Oh, so I don't want to go to studio. I want to. Hopefully, it'll go back to the dash. Yeah, no. Create. Yeah, that'll go back. Hold on. What's the time on that? I always see here that I name every file by the number, the minute. Yeah, so it's this one. So what I'm going to do now is I'll push pause here, but I'm going to, after I start it, but get stems. And I just do vocals and instrumentals. I don't, because the instruments are pretty well mixed, and if they're good enough, if I were really, let's say, so I'll speak to you as it's generating these. Let's say this took off, and the Midnight Regatta Project actually started getting tens or even hundreds of thousands of streams a week or something, or even a month, hundreds of thousands a month of streams, which could happen if it got on, if it got on to certain playlists, and there are yacht rock playlists. So I'm gonna do some. I don't have enough money right now to really put much more put much money into advertising, but I'm gonna probably put more shoulder to the wheel, and possibly financially as well than I've ever done with any of my other music to try to see if I can spark this. If it were to get hundreds of thousands of spins, they call it spins, in a month, with per month or something, then I would probably break this down into multiple stems and actually like do more fine tuning of like, well, I think that the drums are a little hot here, and sometimes they are, and I bring them down individually to a degree, but I could probably do more work or maybe even pay someone. I have a guy who does remastering, and for like $100 a song, and if these were starting to make me some big money, yeah, I'd probably have him just polish them up, make them better. All right, so what I'm going to do is this is the one we like, and I'm going to go. I call this. I'll just go vocals. This is what I do. This is my. I have an MO that I've been doing now, and then I'm going to open it up, come back. There's the vocals, just the vocals. Then we download the instruments, and then what I do is I go through all those vocals, and unfortunately, when it makes the stems, and even sometimes before that, it glitches. INSTR. I've been doing this a little while now, so I have a little bit of a MO. So I go like this. Now I just minimize the instruments. We don't need those at all right now. And what we do is I take all the vocals. This is my MO that I've been doing, which is working when I have vocals. Is I bring them. This is called normalizing, and it brings everything up to the peak volume of the loudest, whatever the loudest portion of whatever you isolate. So here, where we do that, I'm just pumping it all the way up so it's not distorting, but it's bringing the volumes of each line all the way up. Let's see what.
On the sparkling beach.
Definitely, this is an example, and they don't. This is a little on the rare side where there's a peak, a real sharp moment like that. Even though it's still a little bit uneven. Let's do that. Now that's pretty even. We can bring it all up now.
On the sparkling beach.
That works well. I like to take harsh areas and bring them down. I have a little harsh off plugin that I created.
Beach.
Yeah, beach. That sounds better. Welcome. I like to make the Windows sound. That's kind of a habit. Those of you who've seen my other videos probably know that by now and are probably sick of it.
You now reach. Now reach.
That's so what I'm doing is just doing for now, a preliminary leveling.
You now reach.
Better. All right, now I'm going to do that with the whole. With all. Oh, by the way, that's the end of part one. I don't want to like keep talking and then it's not recording. So we're going to cut this off now. This is the end of part one of working on Caribbean Moon. We'll call it Caribbean Moon for now. All right.